Last night a bitch nigga shot a real nigga. But we don't make no diss records, we just deal with it. Plus I be going through a lot, I never talk about it. And they using niggas songs in court, so I can't talk about it. Rap niggas think I'm dumb, like I don't see the play. I let them think they got the ups, they get them out the way. On FaceTime, my brother telling me he shot my mama, telling me to chill, but I know he seen that nigga face. But that's enough about that part. Talking about respect, well it's a must about that part. Playing with my money, well then it's up about that part. Cause when it's time to play ball, don't give a fuck about that part. They know I'm that nigga when they see me. Her man crush been a hater, her little brother won't beat me. Her friend been on my dick since I was passing out CDs. Her baby daddy a mark and her boyfriend probably a weenie. 3,300 on my book bag. Left some niggas in the past, but I don't look back. Shit kinda different, I ain't the man that I was. I seen death in too many forms and I ain't never really shook that. Don't let him rock you to sleep, true colors better believe him. I know that God got me, but I be riding with my reaper. Praying with my kids and even then I got my heater. And I be stepping so hard, this hoes in $1,000 sneakers. Take your bitch when I meet her, you ain't seen her in about 3 days. Knew I was a threat, I passed that stick like a relay. Spin it back to back, it's like a motherfucking replay. Turn your son into a bitch when I shoot, I think I'm D-Wade. Told him I'm a savage, if I want it, I'ma have it. Playing with my lettuce, cook your head like a cabbage. Tell them that I'm rich and I'm solid, that's the advantage. Bitch, bad kids, fresh little nigga, you can't stand it. Tell them big checks, yardsticks, not a roof. All I smoke is ops and I don't never smoke a hookah. Looking for a blessing, that's worth of Jesus and Judas. Tell them niggas game 6, my whole team full of shooters. I slide on a nigga like a motherfucking flip-flop. Pressure on your homie and I promise he a flip-flop. Talking that wookie-woo, something. I know the police listen, so I ain't really saying nothing. I know these niggas envy, they can't manage how they feel. Jealousy's for bitches, you niggas pussy for real. A nigga get the drop and he happen to shoot. First we heal up and get back. We ain't going on a shirt, I swear to God.
Now wooty woo, some. Know the police listen, so I ain't saying nothing. Talking now wooty woo, some. Nigga cock back and aim and leave you bleeding where you running. Swear to God, nigga.
What's the deal, y'all? What's the deal, y'all? What's happening in? TNN Trap News Network. News you can use. Knowledge you ain't finna get nobody to college. I'm finna knock down this pastrami sandwich. I'm hungry. I got a lot to do. Even more news to do. So we finna jump right into it. My man Young and Hefe. Don't care about nothing what the check say. Got a hawk from, I think, 9-4 Hoover. Yeah, from 9-4 Hoover calling in, discussing the situation with G Uno and King Pill. It's been a crazy situation. We're gonna let Young and Hefe, don't care about nothing what the check say, take you all the way. Let's go.
And I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. A young hawk from 9-4 Hoover. So I'm chilling this morning, you know. I was through with everything I had said about the situation unless some other situation had came, unless some more information that came afloat. I'm chilling. As I'm chilling, scrolling through Instagram, looking at the pictures I'm about to upload for my daughter's party yesterday, I get a call in my DM. Look up. I'm like, damn, who is this? We follow each other. Got a lot of people in common, but I don't know who this person is. So when I pick up, I'm like, hello? They like, what's up? I'm like, what's the deal? They like, this hawk from 9-4. I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? Still is not registering in my mind, but I know I had spoke on a hawk last night in my segment because a lot of people out here in these streets, YouTube streets, real streets, reality space, they're under the impression that King Pill just came on down here to the 40s and started trolling and then went to the park that was in the Hoovers thinking it was the 40s to troll some more. So I had got a call from Hershon Martin.
Well, it was looking like that because mainly due to the fact that they never showed them being on Vernon and Fig, and that footage has since came out. I put it out. But, you know, King Pill was trying to make it seem as if, I don't know, they put it out in a really interesting way. To say that they were trolling 4XTRAZ, but showing that they were in the Hoovers, it was a pretty tricky, icky, sticky, mickey, biggie situation. Again, not at all sure why King Pill decided to go that route, But, you know, here we are.
Last night, and he was like, hey, no, he didn't come down here unannounced. You know, he came down here with the homie Hawk. So when he was telling me Hawk at this time, it still wasn't registering on my mind and brain that I know Hawk. Know a few Hawks. It's a name like any other gang name, a big, little, baby, tiny, young, newborn situation. So I'm like, okay. So he like, yeah, you know, you might want to tap in with the homie Hawk or whatnot. So I was like, all right, I didn't tap in with Hawk, but I did get the information that Hawk was on the song with King Peel and Hawk was on the song with G Uno. I dropped the segment last night, fast forward back to me and Hawk getting on the line. So Hawk like, hey, yeah, bro, you know, I just want to tell you because you did a segment, you know, and the Hawk name was spoke, and which Hawk that participated in this situation, name wasn't spoke. You just said Hawk. So I said I was just told Hawk. I wasn't told no Hawk. But what's the deal? So he was like, well, you know, my big baby Hawk tapped in with me and he heard about this segment. His name tied to it. He brought some dudes down here, brought them to the 50s, and people didn't want
Uh-oh. Sounds like nobody pre-approved this.
them down here and back on Fig this and back on Fig that. So I'm like, okay. But I'm like, well, you know, your name was threw out there from a Hoover, and it was basically told to me that they wanted this information to be placed out there. Like, so I didn't just go myself and place this out there. However, Hawk, like, for sure, Hawk, like, you know me, like, you know what I'm saying? So then it dawned on me, I'm like, this young Hawk? He like, yeah. I'm like, okay. We go back, you know what I'm saying, Wayside, 2011, you know what I'm saying? He was in a dorm for me, you know what I'm saying, on everything. You know, I used to be breaking bread with you. He like, for sure. I'm like, the last time I seen you was in your hood. I pulled up at the gas station probably about 8-9 years ago on Manchester and the Hoover to get some gas and ran into you again. He like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, oh, okay, for sure. So he like, I had King Peel and G Uno come down here because, you know, King Peel been trying to get down with 4XTRAZ, and we feel like 4XTRAZ ducking the fade. However, I guess G Uno, I don't know what his beef is. I guess he just, by way of Peel being a Pyru, was inserted in the situation.
And it really didn't make sense for G Uno to insert himself again into the situation. But let's never forget the fact that since all this has happened, G Uno's made it clear that, you know, bad move and all that. So let's not call out G Uno for anything.
They come down here, they all on the song, dissing 4XTRAZ and Doty, and I don't know if X4 name was still in there. However, Hawk, like, bro, I allowed them to come down here, bro, because basically 4XTRAZ be on podcasts saying this, saying that. And me and him had a situation where we supposed to go down, and it happened. So that's why I hopped on the diss song saying what I'm saying about him. Because I was definitely wondering, like, why would you, like, allow these Pyru dudes, you know what I'm saying, to come down here to go over here and do all this and stir all this up just by you being a Hoover and him being from 40s. That's a common enemy already. You don't even need to insert nobody else into this situation, even King.
Right, that fire is hot enough. They don't need nobody else to throw a log on it. It's already going crazy.
Peel, what all the trolling he's doing. So he like, no, this is a situation with me and 4XTRAZ. He like, I was in the county. This was over however long ago it was, 10, 12 years ago. He like, you know, I'm in there doing my thing. Anybody that was in the county around that time know my name, Hawk from Hoover. You said I was pressing play. I was on that. Breathing on shit. So he say, 4XTRAZ come on a tier that he own, and he say that however 4XTRAZ here he on a tier, 4XTRAZ like, hey Hoover, what cell you in? he like, I'm in cell, you know what I'm saying, whatever, 5'6". He said a kite come down there, he open the kite, he read the kite. He like, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, look, this 4XTRAZ from 40s, bro. You know, we gonna get down, you know, I've been hearing your name, you know, you in here, you know what I'm saying, on this, on that, blah, blah, blah. So he say, he tell 4XTRAZ, like, for sure, you already know, soon as the gates pop for medical, I'ma slide down there. They agree they gonna squabble. These are Hawk words, not my words. I don't know what the hell happened. Just telling you about this phone
Scheduling phase in the county is crazy.
call I got this morning, all pertaining to this whole King Pill fiasco and G Uno.
But again, you see how King Pill's poor decision making has affected everybody else? How King Pill's bad decision making has now become everybody's problem? King Pill is literally the root of all these issues and all these problems.
He said he also tell 4XTRAZ, like, hey, look, if they try to send you the wayside, don't go, skip the line so we can get it in. He said 4XTRAZ tell him, Mando, we gonna do that. He said the next day, they came calling the fish line, 4XTRAZ name get called. He said he called out at 4XTRAZ like, hey, what's up, what you doing, where you going? He said 4XTRAZ like, hey, stop by himself like, hey, homie, I'm about to go to Westside. There's more of your homies up there anyway. I'm going to get it in with them. He said he tell 4XTRAZ like, nah, bro, we already agreed. You came in here and called me out. So we got to get down. And you agreed that you was going to skip the line. So what you skipping the line for, bro? We got to get it in. He said 4XTRAZ basically waved him off like, I'm going to Westside. He said he went to Wayside. Said he never ran into 4XTRAZ again after that. So fast forward. Now, all this time, years later, King Pill's on the internet. He's trolling. He's on 4XTRAZ.
It is a bit extra to carry a beef from the county jail from 10 years ago over this situation. So I think that time could have been better spent using his energy to do other things.
Somehow, some way, and I'm not going to even expose the names that I heard and how it came about, but I'm going to just say this. Somebody asked about somebody from Hoover, and they was directed to somebody from Hoover, and that somebody from Hoover was Hawk. So when all this trolling was going on with King Pill and all that, somebody, you know what I'm saying, had a bright idea like, hey, is there anybody from Hoover that can rap? That we can insert in this? And you know what I'm saying, to try to make it even a little more spunkier.
So again, King Pill is creating problems and creating issues within the community of the Crenshaw district, or just South Central in general, while he's not from South Central, he's from Pomona, and he's now living in a different state. I'm not going to say where, but this is absolutely barnacles.
They was directed to Hawk. Hawk hopped on the track with G Uno, hopped on the track with Pill. They all dissing 4XTRAZ. I don't know if G Uno, in fact, dissing him, but I think he's on the track as well. However, Hawk like, hey, come down here to LA. They all come down to LA. Hawk tap in with the 50s. I'm not going to say the names he tapped in with in the 50s, but he let it be known that he tapped in with some reputable members from 4XTRAZ Hoover and told them what was going on. Like, hey, I'm saying, I got this dude King Pill down here. We want to shoot this video, you know what I'm saying? We got this video dissing 4XTRAZ. A lot of people, or some people, I ain't going to say a lot, some people wasn't feeling it because of the derogatory language that King Pill be using, you know what I'm saying, dissing hoods, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But however, it was promo. Hawk name was attached to it. He was down there policing the situation as a Hoover and as them being in his hood, and he got the okay. They went over there.
They went over there and they did their due diligence, and now here we are. This is, oh boy. Oh boy. This situation is going to get worse before it gets better for sure. And I will say this too. It made the most sense for G Uno to take the route that he went and get him and his involvement kind of put up out the way, because this situation is going to get worse before it gets better for sure. For sure.
They said they was on 54th, you know what I'm saying, Vermont. They was on the Fig side, you know what I'm saying, and also they went through the 40s on Vernon and Fig, you know what I'm saying. They was stopping kids, talking to kids, letting kids know where they from. And you know, and stuff like that. And a few of these kids did recognize them from the internet. But Hawk wanted this to put out there that it was him and that they did have the okay to be down here in LA in his section and wherever else they went. He wanted it to be known that it was him because of his name. He's not the only Hawk, and I guess Baby Hawk tapped in and wasn't feeling his name being placed out there as well. You know, you had the homies from back on Fig from out the 50s. They didn't know what was going on, you feel me? And they felt like that shouldn't have been done. They felt like that should have been.
Yeah, because that is a situation that could take a mountain and turn it into an avalanche that could have been just a molehill.
Been done in them dudes' area. But however, it just looked like it's a miscommunication, as it always is out here. You know what I'm saying? Young Hawk, in fact, did get permission to bring them to the Hoovers and took them through the 40s. He was on the diss track based on some old smoke that him and 4XTRAZ supposed to got out the way and didn't get out the way. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole little situation. With that being said, I'm going to conclude this there. It's your boy, Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead, like, and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing.
Now, I will say this. With all this going on, let's never forget the fact that now King Pill is somewhere tucked off safe. And even if he wasn't tucked off safe, he's not from South Central, so he's not down here with these problems that he has created. That being said, y'all know the deal. Red dots to the left. Y'all know the rest, man. Free Avenue until he's free. We got to make better decisions. We out of here. We go.